Hello, I'm Jonathan Skinner, and in today's episode of Talking Trim, we're looking at a fully trimmed Centre Console unit for the Jaguar Mark 2. So this is from a manual car, as you can see. It's got the gear lever here. The autos would be pretty much identical to this, barring that fact. And also it's worth noting that these are pretty much the same for the 240 and 340 models. It would just be the materials that changed. As this is from a Mark II, the majority of the console is leather, with elements in moquette just at the back here, and then a couple of bits in vinyl or leather cloth for the pipings, dependent on the applicable area and suitability of that material. Main vinyl piece here is the base area here of this ashtray cover, but the rest of it is leather. Worth noting at this stage, I have done an earlier video to this where it was this exact console unit before we stripped it down and retrimmed, so it's worth referring to that for a bit of background knowledge of it all. For anyone that has seen that video, a couple of things. One, apologies, I'm probably going to repeat some information that I already put in that earlier video, and two, I actually mentioned about thinking that the console substrate was actually warped and we're going to have to bend it back into shape. Disregard that comment, absolutely not. I'll explain it in this video. But yeah, so this has been done to OEM specs, so leather pretty much everywhere you see there apart from the pipings and the moquette at the back there. We also, as mentioned in my previous video, skive down our leather as standard, and whenever people ask me the benefits of skiving leather, thinning down leather, Mark II console is really one of the areas that you can see it best on, and this ashtray being it. This is leather, this little tab's leather. Although this looks like piping, it is not. It's trimmed onto the surround here. So the base there is vinyl, but this bit here is actually leather as well. And you are simply never going to get this to open and close and trim nicely if you don't use a thin down leather. Now we supply these kits automatically skive down, so it allows you or your trimmer to get the best finish on there. You're simply not going to be able to achieve that finish without a thin down leather. So these are just the little things that we've learned over the course of time, and we've invested in machinery to allow us to do this so that we can supply you with the best kits possible for your restoration. There are other elements of this as well that we do skive down, dash fascia here being one of them, so just bear that in mind. But yeah, this is by far and away the best example of the usefulness of skiving the leather down before you go to fit it. So that's the functioning ashtray there, as you can see. Yeah, so customer has sent us his console. We've then stripped it down and fully trimmed it back up again. Just to show you in the books, get the glare off the page there. So you can see the pipings going down the left and right radio console and speaker area there. So that's these bits here. You'll note we've trimmed out where the speaker goes, but we haven't trimmed out where the radio goes. Our customer hasn't quite decided yet what he's doing with that, so always best to leave it in there. It's only a couple of minutes job to finish that off. Then you've got these side panels here all fully trimmed up again. And it's worth noting, referring back to the earlier video, this is where the confusion came in. If you look at these bits here, they are different lengths. And then if you look where they go, that fits in perfectly there. That fits in perfectly there. So basically this side panel here and this side panel here are different heights. I've put it on foam at the moment to allow it to stay stable for the sake of this video, but that's where the confusion came in the last video. We assumed that the actual framework was warped, but it turns out it wasn't. I haven't quite worked out why Jaguar did that, so please do, if you happen to know, mention it in the comments. Fantastic to know. But suffice to say, every day's a school day. We're not too proud to learn things, even 40 years after making the first one of these kits. So yeah, that explains that. But yeah, looking at the kit here, obviously you've got the ashtray here opened up onto here, and then actually if I skip a few pages back, you'll see here are the side panels that I'm referring to, and then the random bit of piping that covered the sort of gap between the base of the console and the carpet set. That's this piping here, which has the thicker core in it there. So yeah, that describes everything pretty well. Obviously the combination of the two videos quite informative. Suffice to say that we supply the Centre Console Kit all the bits pre-cut to the sizes that you need, slightly oversized to allow you to trim them nicely, skive down where applicable, with foam padding where applicable, ready to go. The most plug and play kit that you can possibly get for a classic car. That being said, nothing is as straightforward as you think, but any questions, we're always here to help. It's always part of the service. So thanks for staying tuned. Please remember to like, subscribe and share with other classic car enthusiasts, and until next time, see you then.